What is going on, guys? Kieran here, and today we're going to take a look at the exotic pulse rifle Red Death. Now, this gun is getting quite an infamous reputation as of late since the new patch, purely because it is honestly one of the most overpowered weapons in the game. For Crucible, at least. For the Crucible. And I will raise my hand and say I am one of those people that uses the Red Death in the Crucible, just because if you land headshots, then it's a two-shot kill, or a two-burst kill. So it's pretty damn powerful. I used this in Iron Banner last week, and I was able to dominate with this thing, because I have maxed it out. I maxed it out specifically for Iron Banner, and it got me quite far, I will say. Anyway, let's take a look at the Red Death in a little bit more detail. So you can see the actual gun here. I will go over the actual cosmetics of it a little bit more later, but it is an assault rifle that is actually a pulse rifle covered in blood. So that's kind of the best way to describe it. It uses a assault rifle model, and yeah, it's all covered in blood and everything. That can't be sanitary. It's got loads of spikes everywhere, and it's got an awesome looking bayonet on the front of it. It looks absolutely brutal, and is actually one of the more exotic looking weapons in Destiny. So let's take a look at the perks. We have Accurized Ballistics, which means more range and impact. Field Choke, more range and impact, increased recoil. And Aggressive Ballistics, which means more predictable recoil, enhanced impact, and a shorter range and more recoil. I personally want to go for the Accurized Ballistics because it changes the stats the least. So I normally just stick with that. We have Unflinching, which means it's easier to aim this weapon under fire. I find this is fairly useful in the Crucible. So it's a decent perk. Nothing too spectacular there. We have your damage upgrades, and for the next set of upgrades we have Snapshot, which means aiming this weapon is incredibly fast. I personally prefer to use this. And we have High Caliber Rounds, which means oversized rounds built to stagger targets and leave them reeling. It also makes the weapon slightly harder to handle, so I kind of ignore that one just because of the handling. And we have Single Point Sling, which means switch weapons faster and move quicker whilst aiming. Again, decent perk, although I personally prefer Snapshot. It's all down to personal preference with this. Like, these three perks aren't really going to change your playstyle too terribly much. And now on to the actual exotic perk. We have the Red Death, which means this gun will heal you and speed up reloads after each kill. So, for example, when you're in the Crucible, you're in a firefight. If you kill the Guardian and you're on low health yourself, this gun will basically take you up to a pretty high amount of health. So, very, very handy in the Crucible. I think this is why people hate it so much as well. Not just because it has the 2-round burst kill. It also heals you instantly after getting the kill, so it's kind of annoying. You can be in the middle of a firefight, you've just killed somebody, and then someone else will come around the corner and wonder why your health is still at full. So yeah, this thing can cause problems, but it is very, very fun to use. And we have the basic damage upgrades. I maxed this out for Iron Banner, so yeah, this thing was a lot of fun. I do highly recommend it for Crucible. I know a lot of people have been complaining about it because this thing, everyone uses this gun in Crucible at the moment. But I mean, I personally, I'm fine with it. I mean, I'm one of those people that uses it in the Crucible just because it's just damn fun. And I've never found myself getting really annoyed at the fact that everyone else uses it, because I'm using it as well. I can still get kills, so it's really nothing to worry about. So, that is it for the perks. Let's jump into some gameplay. I'm going to show off some PvP gameplay for a change. I'm also going to show off some PvE gameplay as well as normal. But I feel like this gun mainly shines in PvP, so I think it's best I show it off there.
Enemies. Gains the lead.
Now this gun really does look and feel exotic. It looks like it's been added to by multiple Guardians over the years, who have all added their own personal little touches to it. Like we've had an ultra-violent Guardian in the past that's had this gun who's attached the bayonet and it's just covered it in spikes and blood. So, you know, I like the fact that it seems to have personal touches from other different Guardians who have had it over the years, and it does definitely feel exotic. In fact, even the actual story of the gun, because the little description of the gun gives it a little bit of backstory. It says, Vanguard policy urges Guardians to destroy this weapon on sight. That implies that this weapon has got quite a bad reputation for being incredibly dangerous, and that is what I really like about it. It looks brutal, it sounds brutal. I mean, let me just shut up a second here so you can hear the sounds of it. So you can hear it sounds way more powerful than a normal pulse rifle, because pulse rifles really don't sound that great in this game, I will admit. They sound a little bit weak, but this gun definitely does sound powerful, and it feels powerful as well. You're going to be doing quite a lot of damage with this gun. I mean, as you saw in the clips there, it's a 2-shot headshot for Guardians in the Crucible, and then when you actually face enemies that are level 30 and above, you can take them down with relative ease, so don't worry about it. It's almost scout rifle level damage, I would say. I mean, scout rifles are obviously going to do a little bit more per shot, but you can fire more bullets at once with this, so it's really down to personal preference. I think this gun is absolutely fantastic. It's pretty much always in my loadout as of late. I wasn't going to actually level this up, funnily enough. When I bought this from Xur, I wasn't that impressed with it when I first got it, but then I thought, no, I'll persevere with it and I'll level it up, and it's won me over. I really, really like this gun. It's one of my favourites in Destiny right now, for both PvE and PvP. Previously, this gun wasn't that great for PvE, but now you can definitely use this against the AI. It's not a problem. You can do a lot of damage with it. Now, even though this weapon uses iron sights, it is still pretty damn accurate. You can also see a little skull and crossbones, a little red skull and crossbones in the middle of the sights, which is always really, really nice. It's just another nice little personal touch. As for the sights themselves, they are fairly nice. They're not quite as bright as some of the other sights on the exotic guns, like, let's say, Bad Juju. But they do the job absolutely fine. Hitting headshots is just absolutely not an issue with these sights, so I really wouldn't worry about them. But that is it for my review of the Red Death. Thank you for watching, guys, and stay tuned for my next exotic weapon review, which will probably be of the Invective shotgun. I haven't quite made up my mind yet, but it'll probably be of that. Anyway, cheers for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.